Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be filming today because I got a new palette for my birthday, and it is the Natasha Denona Star Palette. I actually only used a couple of the shades in this palette while I was in Vegas, so this is kind of like a first impression in a way, just using different colors that I have not used yet. So I'm going to do what I typically do and just prime my eyes with a concealer and then use the shade Galaxia. I'll put the names down below. I'm using this shade to set the concealer. This shade is really one of the only shades in the palette that kind of give a lot of fallout. It's a very glittery type of shadow. The next shade I'm going to use is my transition shade, which is called Titania. And just take a fluffy brush and just start with this shade in my crease and just blend it up toward my eyebrow, and keeping it more in the crease and just a little bit on my eyelid. I'm not getting really precise with this color since it is a really light brown shade. So my third shade I'm going to go in with is called Earth. It's a really pretty dark brown shade. And I start by patting this into my crease, and then I'm going to blend it out. I noticed that these shades are just super creamy, super blendable. It does not take much to blend these out, and I was really impressed with it. Like, just by patting it, I'm like, geez, I really didn't even feel like I needed to do circular motions or keep blending the shadow. It just blends like a dream, and I'm not just saying that because of the palette I'm using. I'm saying it because it is the truth. These shades, these colors are just, this palette's definitely worth its money. I'm being straight up honest with you. So this next shade I'm going in with is called Phoenix. It's a beautiful cranberry purpley type of shadow. I wanted to use some kind of pop of color when doing this look. It wasn't intentionally what I was going to go with, but I'm actually glad that I chose to use this color. I think it really amped up the eye look a little bit. The next shade I chose to use is called Orion. And this is basically what I planned the whole eye look around. This shade was just totally different and outside of the box for me. So I really wanted to figure out the best way to use this shadow. And the way that it looks is just, I don't know, like it's greenish, bluish, brownish. Like, it's so hard to explain. But as you can see, it's just a different type of shade. I honestly don't think that I needed to wet the brush. I just am to a point now where I just do it subconsciously anyway, and think that I need to do it with every type of shimmer or glitter that I use. I really actually don't think it's necessary. My brush picked it up very well. A lot of the pigment went on just as good, and using my finger worked just as good as wetting the brush. So do what you feel is necessary with this pigment. Now the next shade that I chose to go in with is called Bellatrix, and I actually thought that this shadow was going to go on different. I thought it was a different color than actually what it was, but it kind of made a little bit of a different look. I'm not mad at it. For lashes, I'm going to use the Ardell number 207s, which is my current favorite drugstore lash. I popped those on off camera, and then I'm going to take a makeup wipe and just get off any of that glitter fallout that happened, like I said, with that first shade that I used. Even though it does have fallout, it's not exactly terrible. It looks worse than it is. So the primers I'm going to use is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer, and then my tried and true Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I like to take the Optical Illusion Primer and just basically put it in my T-zone area, and then spray the Smashbox Primer Water all over my face. For foundation, I'm going to use the NYX Total Control Cover Drops and go a little crazy. When I was doing my foundation, I did not realize how much I was putting on, but I got a little ham, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay, it blends out. It gets soaked up by the Real Technique sponge that I'm using, so it actually wasn't as bad, I guess, as I thought it was going to be. So for concealer, I'm going to use my Bye Bye Under Eye and just take it on my finger at first and blend it. That way, I like how my natural body heat heats up the concealer and makes it blend like a dream. And then to set that concealer, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Set the rest of my face. I'm going to use the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin powder. Wow, that's like a tongue tie. I'm going to use this powder. This is just a great drugstore powder. It makes me look flawless. I love it. And then to bronze my face, I'm going to use the Ciaté bronzer. I'm not sure exactly the shade I'm using off the top of my head, but I will put it in the description box down below. The first shade I'm going to use on my lower lash line is that Earth shade and start to really smoke this out big time. I'm not taking it all the way into the inner corner, but I am going to make this pretty dramatic. And then I wanted another purple shade like I did up top on my crease. I'm going to take the lighter purple shade, it's called Electra, and just start to smoke that on top of the Earth shade that I just used. For my waterline, I'm going to take a gold eyeliner from the company Beauty For Real. It's in the shade 24 Karat, and just put this along the waterline. I just think this really gave the look a pop instead of using just a normal black. I thought the gold really just made this, and brought like everything together. So for mascara, I'm just going to take the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And then for blush, I'm going to use the Tarte blush in the shade Party. I think it's so cute. I got it for my birthday. This is my first time using it. And it's just a really pretty pink girly shade. So for highlight, I'm going to jump into the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit and take, I think it's Forever Young and Forever Lit, and just put this all over my cheekbones, on my nose, above my eyebrows, and on my Cupid's bow. The only thing I can say that I really don't like about this palette is that it's just so glittery. You know, it just kind of gets into every pore on my cheeks and accentuates them. So I don't really go into this palette as much as I would like to, but I figured I would get away from my normal highlights for this video, but that's really the only thing I don't like about that palette. I'm going to line my lips with Rimmel's lip liner in Coffee Bean and just kind of smudge it around my lips so that the color is all over my lips and not just on the outside of my lips. And then top it with NYX Butter Gloss in Peanut Brittle. To finish this look off, I'm going to set my face with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. So after you do this, the look is done. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you on my next video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.